Key point 1. There is a science to long-lasting relationships. The global divorce rate is scary. More than half of all marriages in the United States end in divorce. In Portugal, it's 70%. The percentage varies in different countries, but it's still scary. And that's not to mention the number of unhappy married people. That should scare you. With the increasing number of dissatisfied couples, what are the odds that your relationship will last the test of time? Most divorced couples didn't see their separation coming when they first got together. Everything seemed to be going well until they got married and life happened. Based on research, couples who can make it into 7 years of marriage stand a better chance at a successful relationship. But we've all seen couples who have been married for decades getting divorced. Finances, infidelity, and parenting are reported to be the major reasons people get a divorce. But what the science found was that these reasons are only surface problems. There's more going on underneath, and if that can be addressed properly, couples will understand each other better, become more empathetic towards one another, and increase their chances of staying together for a lifetime. The goal of these 8 dates is to take you and your partner through 8 topics that could potentially make or mar your marriage. The idea is to have conversations with your significant other on each of these topics and gain a better understanding of one another. While researching, John Gottman and other scientists asked volunteering couples to undergo the 8 dates and report their experiences. Almost all of them reported finding things about each other that they didn't know before. And these couples ranged from people dating to engaged couples, newlyweds, and those who have been married for decades. Their age range was 21 to 67, so this applies to everyone. Staying in love takes a level of vulnerability that isn't always comfortable. We'll get into the 8 dates in this summary. Pay careful attention to the details and create time with your partner to actually go on these dates. Pay attention to the discussions you should have with your partner and affirmations to solidify your commitment. You will find them in this summary as well. Key point 2. Commitment is a choice, and it creates trust. In romantic relationships, we're often asking ourselves if our partners love us enough, if we can trust them to always make us a priority, and if they would be there when we're hurting. We don't always realize we're asking these questions because it's a subconscious activity, but it reflects in our words, feelings, and actions. If you've ever felt hurt that your partner didn't seem to prioritize you, then you know what this is about. And we've all been there. That subconscious activity is completely normal because commitment and trust are the foundations of all successful relationships. But what exactly is commitment and how do you show it? Commitment and trust are the foundations of all successful relationships. The most popular definition of commitment is emotional and physical faithfulness. And while that's a big deal, commitment can and should be shown in the little things we do daily, like dropping your phone when your partner needs your attention, showing up on time, reserving your deepest emotional connection for your partner alone, and so on. Let's go on a date. The trust and commitment date. Suggested location. If you can meet in a place that reminds you of the first time you fell in love, great. Otherwise, any tall building with an awesome view will do. And if you want to do it at home, you could play the trust exercise of blindfolding one person while the blindfolded individual trusts the other person to lead them. Discuss what trust and commitment look like in your relationship. Talk about how you can build more trust. Let each partner mention what commitment means to them, then discuss it to gain a clearer understanding of each other. Affirmation. Keep eye contact as you take turns saying this out loud to one another. I promise to make the choice every day to prioritize you and our relationship. I also commit to going on 7 more dates and engaging in meaningful conversations. Key point 3. Conflict is good. Good couples never fight. They don't ever have conflict because they're wired for each other. When you're with your better half, you won't fight, ever. If you're having conflicts with your partner, then you're probably with the wrong person. Do you believe all that? You shouldn't, because it's a myth. Normal couples have normal conflicts. That's what you expect in an imperfect world where 2 imperfect people come together to build something great. If anyone ever tells you you shouldn't be fighting, don't believe them. Conflict is what makes your long-term relationship normal. You can't avoid it, just learn to address it well. But there's a balance. The opposite side of the never fighting couples is the always fighting couple, and that's not good either. Research from the Gottman Institute shows that couples on both extremes of the spectrum tend to be disaster couples. There are 2 things you can do to strike a balance. Stop avoiding conflicts. If you do, you'll be secretly nursing hurts, and it will be disastrous the day those hurts reach their tipping point and explode. And manage conflict when it comes. Let's be honest, conflicts aren't funny, especially when they're heated and your relationship isn't matured. But what's the best way to manage them when they come? Start with understanding the goal of conflict. The goal is not to win or to make your points clear, but to achieve mutual understanding. Making mutual understanding your target for every conflict will become less daunting and more exciting because they present opportunities to get to know your partner better. The Conflict Management Date. This date aims to discuss conflicts before it arises. The best time to prepare for battle is before the enemy strikes. Location. Anywhere you can speak privately is fine. Take turns finding date locations. If one person found the first one, the other should find this one. A picnic, quiet restaurant, or even your own backyard is okay. Discuss your differences and similarities in the following areas. Where your differences seem so much, try to see if you can reach a compromise. Punctuality, spirituality, neatness and organization, finances, preferred sexual frequency and quirks, and discuss any other area you feel may be important. Key point 4. Keep the passion burning. Far too many couples are not having the amount of sex they want. For most couples, passionate sex starts to die when they kiss dating goodbye and decide to get married. It shouldn't be so, but the statistics are mind-boggling. The reason for this decline is work, kids, and the other stressors that come with adult life. How much sex should married couples have? One study from Chicago University shows that 80% of married couples have sex a few times a month or more. 32% report to having sex 2 to 3 times a week. But what should your sex life look like? You can't judge based on statistics. It's entirely up to you. Some couples have sex more than 3 times a week. Some are even celibate and are fine with it, so it's really up to you. How much sex you should have depends on what you and your partner are comfortable with. Discuss with your partner to see what their optimal sexual frequency is. And if you both agree to have more sex than you're currently having, one powerful thing you can do is increase the passion in your relationship. One common trait of couples with declining sexual lives is the absence of the passion they used to have in the past. Having regular passionate kisses, public display of affection, and being mindful and romantic have been found to be helpful in this regard. Also, note that sex doesn't have to be romantic with red lights and music all the time. The busyness of daily life won't allow that. Sometimes it will be long, passionate sex, and most times it will just be a quickie. The Sex and Intimacy Date. Suggested location. Find a romantic place. It could be public or private, but make sure it feels romantic. Discuss what each partner likes about your present sex life and what they'd like to try. Ask questions like, what is the best way to let you know I want to have sex? How much sex do you want us to be having per week? What turns you on? Etc. The plain and simple truth is, date nights make relationships. John Gottman. Key point 5. Work, money, and love. We work for different reasons. Some of us do it to pay the bills. Others work because there's a dream they're pursuing or a legacy they want to build. But the bottom line is that we all have to work. Work takes time and energy, so much so that at some points we may think that we have to choose between work and love. If one or both partners are working long hours, it will take extra effort and commitment to keep the relationship alive. Couples who find themselves in situations like that know how hard it can be. Without creating time to connect with your partner, you'll increasingly feel yourselves growing apart emotionally. The partner who works lesser hours may even start feeling resentment for the other person. This is why mutual understanding and creating a system that ensures you connect regularly cannot be overstated. For instance, if you're starting a new time-consuming project like writing a book or starting a business, let your partner know before you begin. Tell them how much the project means to you and the family. Doing this will help them understand you. It will also let them know that the long hours won't last forever. If it's your job that requires you to work so much and you can't change jobs anytime soon, try creating an exclusive time when it's just you and your partner connecting. Do this daily, even if it's just 1 or 2 hours. You can as well make yearly vacations a family tradition. Creating time to connect exclusively with your partner should be a daily ritual for couples. The work and money date. Suggested location. Try going to a place that makes you feel wealthy and comfortable. Doesn't have to be uber expensive. It just has to feel rich and comfy. Talk about work and money. Start with each partner expressing gratitude for the other person's contribution to the relationship through paid or unpaid work. Discuss what money means to each of you, how you will each like to spend, save, or invest money, the future of your work lives, and whatnot. Did you know, according to research, couples in the United States are more likely to marry from different religious groups than across political parties? Key point 6. Make family life an opportunity to grow. New couples often make the mistake of not finding out early enough what idea of family their partner is envisioning. Before you tie the knot, it's important to know what your partner wants in a family and if that's something you want too, or if a compromise is possible. Some people don't want kids. Others want just one, and some want much more. Another person wouldn't want kids, but would like a friend to join in as a family member. You'll never know their thoughts until you ask. It can become a problem if your partner is fixated on not having kids while you want to have 3. Having the kids discussion early enough will help you avoid unnecessary conflicts. Wise couples will even go as far as discussing parenting models. Before getting married, be sure to have family-size discussions with your partner. Sociologist Ernest Burgess did a study on married couples in the 1930s that still applies today. From his study, he found that marital satisfaction was a U-shaped curve. Satisfaction levels begin to plummet when couples start having kids. And if nothing is done, they hit the bottom of the curve where dissatisfaction is at its peak. According to the study, couples who get to the bottom only start climbing back up after the last child leaves that house. And that's if they don't divorce before then. Here are 2 things you can do to avoid this. Both partners should stay involved during the pregnancy and childbirth. Keep the emotional connection alive. And prioritize your relationship with your partner. The family date. Suggested location. Places where children and families gather, such as parks or playgrounds. Discuss the type of family you want to raise. See if you can reach a compromise where there's a divergence of desires. The more honest we are, the more we can discover that our partner really loves us for who we are. John Gottman. Key point 7. Couples that play together, stay together. Adult life can be tasking, but it's not all about work and being serious all the time. Creating time for recreational activities is important too. Recreation is a good avenue to connect with your partner, especially for those couples who spend less time with each other due to financial and work demands. The caveat here, however, is that we don't all call the same thing recreation. For one partner, having fun can mean reading a good book, while that might seem like a stressful activity to the other person. Check to see if there's an intersection of your recreational desires and explore it. Maybe one person loves to travel for fun, and the other person enjoys exploring spirituality. A good intersection would be something like traveling to India or the Middle East. The travel-loving partner gets to have their needs met, and the spiritual explorer gets to learn from the deep spiritual heritage in those regions. Your own intersection may not be as obvious, but it's there. It just takes some mindfulness to dig out. Find a fun activity that resonates with you and your partner and engage in it regularly. The date. Fun and adventure. Suggested location. Somewhere you've been before. Could be the beach, a park, or even a redecorated corner of your house. Ask each partner to share an adventure story from their past, as well as some adventures they'd like to have in the future. Discuss ways in which you think you can have fun as a couple. Key point 8. Growth is a sign that you're alive. Growth is inevitable. You won't be the same person you are today 10 years from now. You may change careers, increase your finances, or change your lifestyle altogether. And if none of that happens, your age won't be the same. You'll be 10 years older, and that means physical and psychological changes. Growth is both good and bad. It has separated some couples and has made others closer than ever. If you think the person you're married to or dating would remain the same forever, then you're kidding yourself big time. They will grow. They will change. You will change too. One of you may outgrow the other, and the way you approach it will determine the future health of your relationship. Just accepting that your partner will change prepares you for the unknown that's bound to come. Change may sound scary, but it shouldn't. When you're both committed to the relationship and one another, you'll welcome change as an adventure and not something that may tear you apart. Commitment to your relationship has a spiritual connotation. It means you treat your relationship and everything in it as sacred. And if that is so, then it makes sense to imbibe some rituals. Doesn't have to be anything hippie. Simple but important acts like kissing each other hello and goodbye, having date nights, etc. will do. The growth and spirituality date. Suggested location. Think of a place that feels both sacred and peaceful. It could be indoors or outdoors, it doesn't matter. Talk about how you've grown and changed in your relationship, what spirituality means to each of you, how you can help the other person to grow into who they want to be, etc. Key point 9. Support each other's dreams. One thing your relationship should help do is accomplish your dreams. You'll also get immense satisfaction from knowing that you helped your partner fulfill a dream they have. But the caveat is, you can't start helping someone fulfill their dreams when you don't even know what it is, and vice versa. That's why this last date is designed to help you learn the things that matter most to your partner and how you can help them achieve those things. Partners who help each other fulfill their dreams tend to be more satisfied in the relationship. Before we jump into the date proper, let's go over a few important things to keep in mind. Having a partner means you have to take turns helping each other pursue their dreams. Only on rare occasions would it be convenient for both of you to pursue your dreams at once, so you must both be sacrificial at some points. No dream is too small or too big. Suppressing a dream because you feel it's too small or the time isn't right may lead to resentment later on. The date, dreams, suggested location, any place that inspires your dreams. This could be your house, a different city, or just any serene environment. Take turns asking each other questions about their dreams. When it's your turn to answer, be open and honest. Don't hide any dream you have, no matter how crazy or awkward it may sound. End the date by determining which dream to pursue first and how to go about it as a dream team. Conclusion: trust and commitment are the foundations upon which every successful long-term relationship is built, and you have a chance to build daily. Don't take those little bits for emotional connection for granted. Attending to your partner when they need you subconsciously speaks love to them more than any word can utter. Even as you show your commitment daily, you will inevitably run into speed bumps because you're human. When that happens, apologize immediately and come back together with your partner. The best couples are not those who don't have conflicts. They're couples who fight but find ways to get back. The goal of these 8 dates is to have discussions around important topics that can make or mar your relationship. If you've gone on all 8 dates or plan on doing so, then great, but don't stop there. Make dates a ritual in your relationship. It's a powerful way to keep you both connected. And who says you can't go over the topics again? Talking about them once will get the fundamentals down, but other aspects of each topic are subject to change, so it's good to frequently revisit the dates. For example, you could have talked about your sex and intimacy needs on date 3 and gotten a good idea of what each partner wants. But over time, desires may change. Your partner may have new fantasies, or you may just want to go over the date again to see if your partner is enjoying optimal sex. If you haven't, make dating a ritual you'll hold on to even in your old age. Fix a frequency and stick to it.